Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has been brought to New York to face federal criminal charges after he was captured by the United States. US President Donald Trump has signalled America will be running the South American nation until a transition of power takes place.
In the darkness of a New York airfield, this was the American end of a president's arrest. Video appeared to show Nicolas Maduro walking off a plane onto the tarmac around 50 miles north of Manhattan. He appeared to wear a grey sweatshirt and shackles as he walked down the steps from the plane and into a hangar, surrounded by federal agents. This was Operation Absolute Resolve. The US used technology to turn off the lights in downtown Caracas as troops moved in to move out a sitting president. Inside the compound of Nicolas Maduro, he was caught as he tried to make his way to a steel-reinforced safe room. He was arrested with his wife and taken to the USS Iwo Jima for onward transport to New York. The man they call a narco-terrorist will face drug-running charges.
It was an assault like people have not seen since World War II.
Donald Trump didn't underplay the operational success. He'd watched from a situation room, makeshift, in Mar-a-Lago. Maduro, he said, had been bum-rushed by US forces as he tried to flee. For the Americans, it was a result, no question. At a Mar-a-Lago news conference...
Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff.
The question was what happens next.
Appreciate you being here. We are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about.
He was asked about boots on the ground, a US military presence. He didn't say no.
Well, you know, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it. But we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain.
Maduro is the Venezuelan president long accused of authoritarianism, subverting democracy and abusing human rights. To the Trump administration, he's a narco-terrorist running drugs into the United States. For weeks, it's targeted boats it said were conducting the illicit trade. It's also pursued sanctioned tankers at sea, choking Venezuela's oil trade, the very business President Trump is now eyeing for profit. There were demonstrations in Caracas in support of the seized president. In his news conference, Donald Trump said the vice president had been sworn into the top job. But at the National Assembly, she backed the boss who'd been snatched.
Solo venezolano, ni una venezolana.
The extremist that has promoted this armed violence against our country will pay. History and justice will make them pay. We have no doubt.
Hay un solo presidente en este país.
There is only one president in this country, and he is called Nicolas Maduro Moros.
The hour of freedom has arrived. That was the verdict of Venezuela's opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado. Many saw her as a natural successor, but not so Donald Trump.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect to be the leader.
There is uncertainty at what comes next for Venezuela and concern. That extends to members of Congress here in Washington who weren't consulted before the military action. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that was down to operational secrecy. Opposition Democrats have condemned what they say is a plan to occupy Venezuela. In New York, the United Nations Secretary General has expressed a deep concern that international law could have been breached. And then there's a question of precedent. What other countries aren't aligned with Donald Trump? Who else could conceivably be next? After the events of Saturday morning, Donald Trump was asked about Cuba. He replied, "I think Cuba is going to be something we end up talking about." His actions have changed the conversation. James Matthews, Sky News.